We kicked our own son out of the house when he was just 19, then years later had the audacity to demand he hand over his beautiful new home to the same brother who had betrayed him by sleeping with his wife. But he didn't break. Instead, he filed for divorce, exposed the explicit videos of their affair to her entire family, called the police on us, and left his mother and me sobbing helplessly on his front lawn like strangers. I don't know why I'm writing this. Maybe because I need to say it out loud where I cannot take it back. Maybe because my wife, Carol, and I need to face what we did. Or maybe because our son was right about everything and we were too proud to admit it until it was too late. This is about Warren, our oldest boy, 32 now, civil engineer, successful, self-made, and we destroyed him. Not all at once. It happened slowly over years with 1,000 small choices that told him the same thing over and over. You do not matter as much as your brother. It started when he was 19. His younger brother, Gavin, got his girlfriend pregnant. They needed space. We had a 3-bedroom house. Warren had the biggest room. We sat him down one night and told him he needed to move out. Just temporarily, we said, until Gavin gets on his feet. Warren stared at us. I still remember his face. Confused. Hurt, but he did not argue. He never argued. Where am I supposed to go? He asked. You will figure it out. I told him. You are resourceful. He packed his stuff that weekend. Slept on a friend's couch, then another friend's couch. Worked construction during the day. Went to community college at night. We told ourselves he was fine, that he understood we were in a tough spot. The truth, we just did not want to deal with a crying baby and a toddler in our house. Warren was quiet, easy. He had always been the one who did not cause problems. So, we made him the solution to Gavin's problem. He never moved back in. We never invited him. Years passed. He put himself through engineering school, bought his own car, got his own apartment, built a whole life without us. We barely noticed. Gavin stayed. We helped with the kids, paid for groceries when money was tight, babysat every weekend. Carol practically raised those 4 children while Gavin bounced between jobs. We told ourselves we were being good parents, good grandparents. Warren stopped calling around year 3, stopped showing up for holidays around year 5. We would see him maybe once a year at some family function and he would be polite, distant. We told ourselves he was just busy, that he had gotten over it. Last month, we heard through Gavin that Warren bought a house. 4 bedrooms. Nice neighborhood. We had not talked to him in probably 8 months. Carol saw an opportunity immediately. Gavin's drowning, she said to me that night. 4 kids in that tiny apartment. No space, no money. Warren's got all those extra rooms just sitting empty. You think he would let them move in? I asked. He is family. Of course he will. I should have known better. Should have recognized that we had no right to ask. But Gavin was struggling and Warren had always been the one to bend. We drove to his house on a Saturday afternoon. Did not call ahead, just showed up. Warren answered the door in jeans and a t-shirt. He looked good, healthy. The house behind him was beautiful, clean, put together. Mom, Dad. His voice was flat. What are you doing here? Cannot we visit our son? Carol pushed past him into the living room. I followed. Warren did not move. Just stood there with his hands still on the doorknob. Gavin struggling, I said. Got right to it. 4 kids, tiny apartment. His wife's overwhelmed. You have got 4 bedrooms here. So he needs to move in. You have got the space. Warren's jaw tightened. No. Carol's eyes welled up instantly. She has always been good at that. Warren. He is your brother. He needs help. I said. No, you cannot be serious. I said. Look at this place. You are living here alone while your brother's family is packed into. Get out. His voice was not loud. Was not angry, just cold. Carol started crying for real then. This is what family does, Warren. We help each other. You have so much and Gavin has so little because I worked for it. I built this alone. While you 2 helped Gavin with everything and left me on couches. That was years ago. I said, you need to let that go. Warren looked at me. Really? Looked at me and I saw something in his eyes I had never seen before. He was not hurt anymore. He was done. Get out of my house. We left. Carol cried the whole drive home. I was angry, kept telling her Warren would come around, that he was just being stubborn. That family was family. We would go back, make him see reason. What we did not know, what we were too blind to see, was that Warren already knew something we had been trying to hide. And we were about to make the worst mistake of our lives. I need to confess something before I go any further. Because what happened next will not make sense unless you understand what Carol and I already knew. We knew about the affair. 3 months before that first visit to Warren's house, Carol was at Gavin's apartment helping with the kids. Gavin's phone was on the counter. It buzzed. Carol glanced at it. A text from Bianca. Warren's wife cannot stop thinking about yesterday. Carol's stomach dropped. She confronted Gavin when he came out of the bathroom. He went pale, stammered, then admitted it. He and Bianca had been sleeping together for 6 months. Started when Bianca was helping Iris with the kids. Gavin said Warren was always working late, that Bianca felt lonely, that it just happened. Carol called me immediately. We drove to Gavin's place and sat him down. You need to end this. I told him now. I know. Gavin said. Head in his hands. It is already over. I swear. Does Warren know? Carol asked. No, and he cannot. It would destroy him. Please, Dad. Please do not tell him. We should have. God. We should have told Warren right then, but Gavin was crying, begging, and we told ourselves it was already over. That Warren did not need to know that it would only hurt him for no reason. Really, we just did not want to face what our golden boy had done. So, we kept quiet. A week after Warren kicked us out of his house, we decided to try again, but this time, we would bring reinforcements. We called Gavin, told him to bring Iris and the kids. If Warren saw his nieces and nephews, ages 2 through 8, maybe he would feel guilty enough to cave. Gavin was hesitant. I do not know. Dad, Warren and I have not really talked in a while. Your brothers, Carol said he will help once he sees how much you are struggling. We all met at Warren's house Sunday afternoon. Knocked on the door, Warren answered, saw all of us standing there. Me, Carol, Gavin, Iris holding the baby, 3 kids clutching their mother's legs. His expression did not change. Really? He said. Warren, please. Iris said, her voice was shaking. We just need some help. Temporary. Until we find something bigger. Bianca appeared behind Warren. She looked terrified. Would not make eye contact with anyone. Can we at least come in? Carol asked. Warren stepped aside. We filed into his living room. Gavin was cocky. I saw it immediately. That smirk he always had when he thought he was getting his way. Bro. Look at this place. Gavin said. Gesturing around. 4 bedrooms. Just you and Bianca. We are packed like sardines. You have got all this space. Warren looked at Gavin. Then at Bianca, then at us. I know, he said quietly. The room went still. Know what? Gavin asked that you have been sleeping with my wife. Iris gasped. The baby started crying. Carol's hand flew to her mouth even though she had known for months. Gavin tried to laugh. What? Warren, what are you? Warren pulled out his phone, turned it toward us. Video footage, security camera, living room angle, Gavin and Bianca on the couch kissing. Then it cut to another angle, them on the stairs. Then bedroom footage. Love-making tapes. Clear. Explicit, unmistakable. Iris screamed, grabbed the kids, and ran out the front door. We heard her car start seconds later. Carol was frozen, staring at the phone. Gavin went white as paper. Warren, I can explain. Shut up, Warren said. His voice was so calm, it was terrifying. He looked at Carol and me. You knew, did not you? Carol could not speak. I could not lie to his face. Gavin told us he ended it. I finally said. Warren laughed. Actually laughed. It was the coldest sound I have ever heard. He ended it, right? He turned off his phone. Well, this changes things. This was the moment. The moment where we should have apologized, should have grabbed Gavin and left, should have been horrified at what our son had done. Instead, I opened my mouth and said the words that would destroy whatever was left of our relationship. That is between you and your wife, Warren, but Gavin still needs somewhere to live. You are still letting him move in. The silence that followed was deafening. Warren stared at me, then at Carol, then back at me. You want me to give my house? He said slowly to the man who slept with my wife. In my bed, he is your brother, Carol said, her voice breaking. Blood is blood. Families forgive. Warren smiled. It was the most terrifying thing I have ever seen. Get out, he said quietly. Now, we did not move. I should have grabbed Carol's arm and walked out right then. Should have seen the look on Warren's face and understood we had crossed a line we could never uncross. But I was angry. Angry that he was making this harder than it needed to be. Angry that he could not just be the bigger person like he had always been. Warren, you are overreacting. I said, yes, what Gavin did was wrong. But marriages survive affairs. People forgive. That is what adults do. And regardless of what happened between you and Bianca, your brother still needs stop talking. Warren's voice was so quiet I barely heard him, but something in his tone made my mouth snap shut. Let me make sure I understand, Warren said. He looked at Gavin, who was pressed against the wall like he wanted to disappear into it. You slept with my wife in my house, in my bed for 6 months. Gavin did not answer. Warren looked at Carol. You knew about it for 3 months and said nothing. Carol's face was red, tears streaming, but she nodded. Warren turned to me. And you, knowing all of this, just demanded I hand over my house to him. Demanded I let the man who betrayed me move into the home I built with the wife he slept with. You are twisting it. I started. Am I? Warren pulled his phone back out. Because I have been recording this entire conversation, Both visits, actually. Every word, every demand, every guilt trip. My blood went cold. You are bluffing, Carol whispered. Warren pressed play. Our voices filled the room, crystal clear. Gavin's struggling. He needs to move in. You have got the space. He is your brother. Blood is blood. That is between you and your wife. But Gavin still needs somewhere to live. He stopped it. Want to hear more? I have got 40 minutes of footage. Video 2 from my doorbell camera. Timestamped. You demanding my house. Me telling you about the affair. You telling me to give it to him anyway? Warren, please. Carol stepped forward. I said, do not move. She froze. Warren looked at all of us. Here is what is going to happen. You are going to walk out that door. You are never going to contact me again. And if you do, I am posting every second of these recordings online. Facebook, Twitter, the neighborhood group, your church. Everyone will see exactly what kind of people you are. We are your parents. Carol's voice cracked. You can not just I can. And I am. Warren's hand moved to his pocket. You have 10 seconds to leave before I call the police for trespassing. You would not, I said. But even as I said it, I was not sure. Try me. Gavin was already backing toward the door. Dad, let us just go. No, I stepped forward. We are not leaving until you listen to reason. You are being selfish, Warren. You are being cruel. Gavin made a mistake. Yes, but he is still here. Warren pulled out his phone and dialed. What are you doing? Carol asked. 911. What is your emergency? The dispatcher's voice came through on speaker. My heart stopped. Yes, I need police at 835 Riverside Drive. Warren said, his eyes locked on mine. My parents and brother are trespassing on my property and refusing to leave after I've asked them multiple times. Sir, are you in immediate danger? No, but they will not leave and I want them removed from my home. Officers are on the way. Stay on the line. Warren, hang up. I said, this is insane. We are your family. You stopped being my family a long time ago. Warren said the cops will be here in about 5 minutes. You can leave now or you can wait and explain to them why you are demanding I give my house to the man who has been sleeping with my wife. Gavin was already out the door. Running to his car, Bianca was crying silently in the corner, makeup running down her face. Carol grabbed my arm. Harold, we need to go. No, he is bluffing. He will not actually. Warren turned the phone toward us so we could see the screen. 911 call. Still connected. Timer running. Officers are 3 minutes out, he said calmly. The certainty in his voice broke something in me. This was not the parent we had raised. The quiet, obedient boy who always bent. This was someone else entirely. Carol pulled me toward the door. We stumbled out onto the front lawn. Neighbors were outside, drawn by the commotion. Mrs. P from next door, the family across the street, all watching. Carol collapsed on the grass, sobbing. Warren, please. We are sorry, we did not mean. Warren stood in the doorway, arms crossed, face completely blank, watching us fall apart like we were strangers. Then he stepped back inside and shut the door. We heard the lock click. Police sirens wailed in the distance. Getting closer, I pulled Carol to her feet. We ran to the car, drove away just as the cop cars turned onto the street. Carol cried the entire way home. I kept my hands clenched on the steering wheel, knuckles white. He will calm down. I told her he is just angry. He will come around, but even as I said it, I knew it was a lie. We thought that was rock bottom. We were wrong. Warren had only just started. The divorce papers arrived at Bianca's office on Monday morning. We did not know about it until Gavin called, hysterical. Bianca just called me. He said she was served at work in front of her entire team. Warren filed for divorce. Good. Carol said she had barely slept since Sunday. She should be humiliated. Mom. You do not understand. Warren is not just divorcing her. He is. Gavin's voice cracked. He could not finish. What? I asked. He sent the videos to her parents. The air left my lungs. What videos? Carol whispered. But we both knew. The love-making tapes, Gavin said. Everything. Full videos. He sent them to Bianca's parents, her brother, her sister, everyone. Oh, God. Bianca's family is old-school Catholic. Her father's a deacon at their church. Her mother runs the parish charity events. They had met Warren once and called him a good, godly man. Her dad called her a word. Gavin continued, told her never to contact them again. Her mom hung up on her. Her brother sent her a text that just said, "You were dead to us." Carol sat down hard on the couch. He would not. He did. Bianca is completely alone. She is staying at a motel. She has nobody. I felt something twist in my chest. Not quite guilt. Not quite sympathy. Just recognition that Warren had done exactly what we taught him not to do. He had stopped being forgiving. What about you? I asked Gavin. Silence on the other end. Gavin, Iris got the videos, too, he said quietly. She filed for divorce this morning. Took the kids to her sister's place. Will not let me see them. She is going for full custody. I heard him start to cry. Dad, I lost my kids. I lost everything. You have to talk to Warren. You have to make him stop. For the first time in Gavin's life, I did not comfort him. You did this to yourself, I said. Gavin went silent. Then he hung up. Carol stared at me. Harold, it is true. This is his mess. Warren's just making sure he does not walk away clean. 3 days later, we decided to try one more time. We drove to Warren's house early in the morning before work. Figured we would catch him off guard, make him listen. We did not even make it to the driveway. A police cruiser was parked on the street. 2 officers standing on the sidewalk. One of them stepped forward as we pulled up. Harold and Carol Peterson. My stomach dropped. Yes, we need you to turn your vehicle around. You are not allowed within 500 feet of this property. What? Why? The officer held up a document restraining order filed 2 days ago. If you attempt to contact Warren Peterson or come within 500 feet of his residence or workplace, you will be arrested. Carol gasped. You cannot be serious. Very serious, ma'am. Turn around now. I looked past them. Warren's front door opened. He stood there in a suit and tie, ready for work. Coffee in hand, watching. Warren. Carol screamed out the window. Please, we just want to talk. He did not respond, did not move. Just stood there. The officer stepped in front of our car. Ma'am, I'm going to ask you one more time, too. This is insane, I shouted. We are his parents. He cannot. Just the second officer reached for his radio. We need another unit at Riverside Drive. Subjects refusing to comply with restraining order. Okay. We are leaving. I threw the car in reverse, but it was too late. Mrs. P was on her porch with her phone out recording. The family across the street had come outside. The jogger who always ran past at this hour had stopped to watch. Everyone saw us. Everyone saw the police escorted us away from our own son's house. Everyone saw Carol sobbing in the passenger seat while I shouted at the officers and Warren. He stood in his doorway, arms crossed, stone-faced, watching it all unfold like he was watching strangers. Then he went back inside, closed the door, and went to work. That night, Carol could not sleep. She sat at the kitchen table with a pen and paper. What are you doing? I asked. Writing him a letter, she said. He has to read it. He has to know we are sorry. She wrote for 2 hours, 6 pages front and back, apologizing for everything, for kicking him out, for favoring Gavin, for enabling the affair, for demanding his house, for all of it. She mailed it the next morning. A week later, I was scrolling through Facebook and there it was. Warren had posted a photo of the letter, all 6 pages, clear as day. The caption read, "When enablers finally face consequences." It had 823 shares. The comments came first. Under Warren's post, hundreds of them within the first hour. Your parents demanded you give your house to the man who slept with your wife. What kind of monsters? This is sickening. They knew about the affair and still tried to manipulate you. The fact that they are trying to play victim now after everything they did. I wanted to respond, to explain, to tell them they did not understand the full context, that there was no context that made us look better. Carol's phone started ringing. Her sister, then her best friend from church. Then my brother. They had all seen it. Carol, what the hell is this? Her sister asked, did you really demand Warren give his house to Gavin after he? Carol hung up. By the end of the day, Warren had also posted the recordings. Audio files timestamped crystal clear. Our voices demanding his house. Me saying that is between you and your wife after he revealed the affair. Carol saying blood is blood while defending Gavin. The internet is forever. That is what they say. We learned that the hard way. Our church community was the worst. By Sunday, people were avoiding us. Sister Margaret, who had known us for 15 years, walked past Carol in the parking lot without making eye contact. Father Dominguez pulled me aside after Mass. Harold, I think it would be best if you and Carol took some time away from parish activities until things settle down. You are kicking us out? I am suggesting space. People are uncomfortable. Even our family turned. Cousin stopped calling. My brother sent a text. I do not know what to say to you. What you did to Warren is unforgivable. For the first time in my life, I had no defense. Gavin was living with us by then. He had lost his apartment, lost his job after Iris' lawyer contacted his employer with evidence of the affair. Lost access to his kids except supervised visits once a week. He spent most days on our couch staring at his phone, scrolling through photos of his children. This is Warren's fault, he would mutter. He did not have to destroy my entire life. One night, I could not take it anymore. You slept with his wife, I said, for 6 months in his house. What did you expect? Gavin looked at me like I had slapped him. You are taking his side now. There are no sides. You screwed up. Warren's just making sure you face consequences for it. He is my brother and you betrayed him worse than anyone ever could. Gavin did not speak to me for 3 days after that. Carol tried everything. Different phone numbers, emails, she even contacted Warren's workplace, but his assistant told her he had left instructions that we were never to be put through. 6 months passed like that, isolated, humiliated, drowning in shame. Then one afternoon, Carol went to get coffee downtown. She saw him. Warren across the street coming out of an office building. She did not think, just walked toward him. Warren, he stopped, turned, saw her. For a second, neither of them moved. Then Carol crossed the street, tears already forming. Warren, please, can we just talk? He looked at her. No anger, no hatred, just nothing. No, I know I do not deserve it. I know we do not deserve it, but you are my son. You are my son and I was your son when you kicked me out at 19 and never looked back. Warren said quietly. I was your son when you chose Gavin over me every single time. I was your son when you demanded I give my house to the man who betrayed me. His voice was calm, steady, final. You made your choice, he continued over and over. For 13 years, you chose him. You enabled him. You protected him even when he destroyed my marriage. We are sorry. Carol sobbed. We are so sorry. I know you are. Warren's expression did not change. But sorry does not undo 13 years of being invisible. Sorry does not fix what you enabled. You wanted me to be the bigger person. I am bigger than all of you. And that means I do not need you anymore. Carol reached for his arm. Warren, please. He stepped back. Do not touch me. We are your parents. No, you are people who share my DNA. That is it. Warren turned and walked away. Carol stood on the sidewalk, shaking, tears streaming down her face while strangers walked past. He never looked back. When she got home, she could not speak, just sat at the kitchen table and cried for 2 hours. I did not ask what happened. I already knew. That night, lying in bed, Carol whispered, we lost him. I know. Forever. I know. A year passed. We heard things through distant relatives. Cousins who still had Warren on social media who saw his posts and passed along information like scraps. Warren moved, new city, bought a bigger house, got promoted, leading some major infrastructure project, started dating someone, a woman named Faye, teacher. The photo showed them hiking, laughing, living. He looked happy, happier than I had ever seen him when he was with us. I am writing this final part because people need to understand something. We were not the victims in this story. We told ourselves we were. For months after Warren cut us off, we would sit around our kitchen table and talk about how cruel he was being. How he took things too far. How families are supposed to forgive. We were lying to ourselves. The truth is simple. We destroyed our son. And he was right to bury us for it. Let me tell you where everyone is now. Gavin still lives with us. He is 30 now. Works part-time at a warehouse. Sees his kids every other weekend under supervision because Iris does not trust him alone with them. He is bitter, angry, blames Warren for everything. Last month, he said, if Warren had just forgiven me, I would still have my family. I looked at him and said, if you had not slept with his wife, you would still have your family. He has not spoken to me since. Bianca moved 3 states away. We heard she is working retail. Her family still will not talk to her. She tried to reach out to Warren once. Carol heard about it through someone who knew someone. He had his lawyer send a cease and desist letter. Carol and I were pariahs. Our church community tolerates us barely. Most of our extended family keeps their distance. We see our grandchildren, Gavin's kids, twice a month if we are lucky. We lost friends, lost respect, lost the son who actually made something of himself. And we deserve every bit of it. I need to say this clearly so there is no misunderstanding. We kicked Warren out at 19 and called it necessary. We never invited him back and called it moving on. We gave Gavin everything. Money, support, babysitting, excuses, and told Warren to understand. We knew about the affair for 3 months and said nothing. We demanded Warren give his house to his betrayer and called it family duty. We refused to leave when confronted and called it standing our ground. We enabled a liar and a cheater. And when the victim refused to be victimized anymore, we tried to make him the villain. We told ourselves we were doing it for family. That was a lie. We did it because confronting Gavin meant confronting ourselves. Admitting we had failed as parents. Admitting we had raised a man who could betray his own brother. Admitting we had played favorites for so long that we had broken one son while spoiling the other into uselessness. It was easier to demand Warren sacrifice himself than to hold Gavin accountable. We thought Warren was weak because he was quiet. Because he did not fight back when we kicked him out. Because he always understood. We were wrong about everything. Warren was not weak. He was just done wasting energy on people who had never valued him. And when we finally pushed him too far when we demanded he house the man who destroyed his marriage, he did not break. He became steel. He filed for divorce. Sent the evidence to everyone who needed to see it. Called the police when we would not leave. Got a restraining order. posted our desperate attempts to manipulate him for the world to see. He did it all with more strength, more dignity, more grace than we ever showed him in his entire life. He did not just win. He walked away free while we drowned in the consequences of our own choices. 2 years have passed now since that day on the sidewalk. We have not heard from Warren directly, have not seen him. Do not expect to. Last we heard, he is engaged to Faye. They are planning a wedding next spring. Small ceremony. Close friends only. We will not be invited. We do not deserve to be. People ask me sometimes if I do anything differently. Everything. I would do everything differently. I would apologize the day after we kicked him out. I would treat both my sons equally instead of playing favorites. I would tell Warren the truth about the affair the moment we found out. I would grab Gavin by the collar and drag him out of Warren's house instead of demanding Warren accommodate him. I would be the father Warren deserved instead of the father Gavin wanted. But I cannot go back. All I can do is own what we did and hope that somehow putting this truth out there helps someone else avoid our mistakes. If you are reading this and you have kids, do not do what we did. Do not play favorites. Do not enable bad behavior because it is easier than accountability. Do not demand forgiveness from people you have hurt while protecting the people who hurt them. Do not mistake silence for weakness or obedience for loyalty. Blood does not make you family. Loyalty does. Respect does. Love does. We learned that too late. Warren learned it just in time. He has no love left for us. No trust, no room in his life for people who treated him like he was disposable. Just walls we built ourselves. Brick by brick, choice by choice. For 13 years, Warren handled everything with more strength than we ever gave him credit for. He did not just survive what we did to him. He thrived in spite of us. And now he is building a life with people who actually value him, who see him, who choose him. We had that chance. We threw it away. Warren was never the weak one. We were just too blind to see it. And now we will spend the rest of our lives knowing we had an incredible son and we destroyed our relationship with him all by ourselves. He was right about everything. We were wrong and there is no going back. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.